Scientists have spent years studying the surface of the moon, sending probes and rovers to scour its barren landscape for signs of water, past or present. But much of what lies beneath the moon's surface remains a mystery. Hidden beneath miles of cold, dead rock are caves carved out by ancient volcanic activity. And because they're covered in regolith, the same dust that blankets the rest of the lunar surface, they've remained completely out of sight until now. Come the end of this year, that will all change when the first ever rover designed to explore the moon's lava tubes gets to work. Let's take a look at the incredible robot that will make history as the very first lava tube explorer. Meet the first spider-like robot to explore lava caves on the moon. There's no denying that the moon is an extremely harsh environment. From the extreme cold of its shadowy craters to the intense heat of its sunlit peaks, the surface of our closest celestial neighbor is inhospitable to life as we know it. But while the lunar surface may be inhospitable, the same cannot be said of the caves lying dormant beneath it. And if there's one thing that humans love, it's exploring the unknown. With that in mind, scientists around the world have been eager to learn more about the mysterious tunnels that riddle the moon's surface. Only to get at them, they'll need some very special equipment. We've sent plenty of rovers to the moon before. Most recently, China's Yutu-2 rover celebrated its third anniversary on the moon in January 2022. Over the course of its extended mission, the rover has explored more than 1420 kilometers of the moon's surface, sending back invaluable data to help scientists better understand the composition of our closest celestial neighbor. However, while China's rover has made significant contributions to our understanding of the moon, it wasn't built for the sole purpose of exploring the lunar surface. It was built to explore the moon's surface, yes, but also to lay the groundwork for future missions that would allow humans to do the same. The reality is that while the moon may seem relatively close, it takes around 4 days for any spacecraft to reach it from Earth. That means that any mission to the moon needs to be meticulously planned to ensure that everything runs smoothly once it gets there. With so much riding on each and every step of the journey, it stands to reason that not much room is left for mistakes. That's why we haven't sent rovers specifically designed to explore the moon's subsurface just yet. Not until now. Enter Asagumo, the first ever rover designed with the sole purpose of exploring the moon's subsurface. Developed by British space engineering company Spacebit, the Asagumo is a walking rover that will use its 4 sturdy legs to navigate the rough terrain of the moon's lava tubes and send back invaluable data about their composition. But it won't be an easy journey. The caves aren't just dark, dank, and full of creepy crawlies. They're also covered in sharp rocks and uneven surfaces that could easily damage a lesser rover. That's why Escargot is equipped with a series of sensors and cameras that will allow it to map its surroundings and plan its route accordingly. But the most important thing about the Asagumo is its legs. Yes, you heard that right. This little rover walks rather than rolls. And there's a good reason for that. While wheels might work well on the smooth lunar surface, they're not so great on the uneven terrain of the lava tubes. The uneven terrain is simply too unpredictable for wheels to handle, which is why Spacebit engineers decided to give the rover legs. The legs will allow the rover to walk over rocks and other obstacles that might get in its way. They'll also allow it to stand up if it falls over, which is always useful when you're exploring an uncharted environment. Asagumo is a Japanese word meaning to climb and descend a mountain. And the rover's creators believe that its legs will allow it to do just that. The rover will be able to explore a much wider area than any wheeled rover before it. And it'll be able to do so much more safely thanks to its ability to stand up and climb over obstacles. The legs should also help the rover explore the caves in greater detail. By being able to stand up, the rover will be able to look around and map the caves in much greater detail than any previous rover. It'll also be able to collect samples of the cave's floor and ceiling, which will help scientists better understand how the caves formed. But why explore lava tubes in the first place? What's so special about these ancient caves that makes them so fascinating to scientists? Well, it turns out that lava tubes could be the key to unlocking humanity's potential for space exploration. Seriously, there's a lot to unpack here. For starters, the caves are rich in resources that could be used to support a lunar colony. The floors and ceilings of the caves are covered in a layer of regolith, which can be used to make concrete, bricks, and other building materials. In addition, the caves contain minerals that could be used for things like water extraction and air filtration. all of which are essential for long-term habitation in space. But perhaps the best thing about the caves is that they offer a natural shelter from the harsh lunar environment. The walls of the caves are so thick that they block out any light or sound from the outside world. That means that a lunar colony could exist in complete darkness and silence, which is ideal for creating a peaceful living environment. The caves are also shielded from the deadly cosmic radiation that bombards the lunar surface. That means that people living in a lava tube colony would be much safer from the harmful effects of radiation than those living on the surface. Finally, the caves are also protected from meteorite impacts, which are a constant threat to anything on the lunar surface. A meteorite impact on the surface could easily destroy a colony, but a colony in a lava tube would be much safer. The walls of the caves are so thick that a meteorite would have to be absolutely massive to penetrate them. In other words, a colony in a lava tube would be much safer than one on the surface. Not only are the caves potentially rich in resources and protected from the elements, but they also offer a unique opportunity to study the history of the moon. The floors and ceilings of the caves are covered in layers of ash and other debris that can tell us a lot about the moon's past. By studying these layers, scientists can learn more about the moon's volcanic history and how it has changed over time. The caves are basically a window into the moon's past. While the caves offer a lot of advantages over surface living, there are also some challenges that come with exploring them. For example, the caves are completely dark, which makes it difficult to navigate and explore. And because the caves are so dark, it's also hard to communicate with the outside world. That's why the Asagumo rover is equipped with a series of sensors and cameras that will allow it to map its surroundings and communicate with Earth despite the darkness. Another challenge is that because the caves are so dark, temperatures can vary drastically from one area to the next. This can make it difficult for humans to survive if they're not properly prepared. The solution, of course, is to send rovers like Asagumo ahead of any manned missions to explore the caves and make sure that they are safe for human habitation. In the future, it's likely that we'll see more and more missions to explore the moon's caves. As we learn more about the caves and their potential for supporting life, it's possible that we'll even see a lunar colony established inside one of the caves. Until then, though, we'll just have to wait and see what the Asagumo rover finds. But when will we find out? The moon isn't exactly on our doorstep after all. Well, fortunately, we won't have to wait too long. The UK's inaugural moon mission is set to launch later this year, paving the way for Asagumo to begin its historic journey. When it arrives on the moon, the rover will spend several months exploring the caves and sending back invaluable data before finally shutting down. In the meantime, we can look forward to hearing all about its adventures. And that's not all. There are plans for further missions to follow in the wake of the UK's inaugural moon mission. If all goes according to plan, we could soon have a whole fleet of rovers exploring the moon's caves and sending back amazing discoveries. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll even be able to join them. So what do you think? Is it really possible to live in a lava tube on the moon? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on all things space. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.